All right, so we're going. Guys, if you missed this live, I was actually just chatting with everybody, but my name is Anna Vargas, and I'm a health and wellness coach, and I am going to teach you guys how I edit my photos and just a really easy way to brighten your photos and keep your Instagram really cohesive. I'm going to screen share on my phone, and it keeps locking. Okay, there you go. So I was a designer for about 8 years, and I just left my corporate job to do fitness coaching full time. So I'm just going to teach you guys a really quick way. There is a free way to do it, so I'm going to teach you guys that first, obviously. If you guys open up your Instagram, there's a simple way to brighten up your photos. So, whoops, not Facebook Live. So here, I did this picture earlier and it's on a white background. So I like to keep my pictures very clear when taking them. I like to have like a white background, and I have a white desk, so that makes it really easy. But if you don't have that, go to Walgreens or CVS and actually buy a white piece of like cardboard or just paper, like a larger piece that you can actually do your photos on. And then think about keeping everything like symmetrical, and try to take the best picture you can, but it's totally fine if you don't. Sometimes, like today was really dark and gloomy in Chicago, so it was really hard to actually take a picture with the sunlight. So this was just a picture taken. I use white lights in my light bulbs. I use the white ones instead of like the yellow one, because that'll actually give like an extra yellow color on them. So this was just taken. This is my desk as a background. And on Instagram, I would suggest just choosing one filter that you guys really like. I usually don't use a filter on here, but if I do the gingham. I don't know how to say this one, because it leaves a little bit of like a darker type, grungier feel to it, and I really like that. But I never do it at 100%. So if you actually click on it again, it gives you the 100, and you can scroll it over. And I usually do like in the 50s. And then if you go to edit, you can bump up the brightness. So like it already looks brighter and better and more of my style. So you can bring up the brightness. And I never go like full out. Like maybe sometimes if there's like a flash or something, it might be too bright, so you might have to come this way or you want more dramatic photos. But I never come all the way up to this, because I feel like it just kind of washes it out. So you just bump it up a little bit, and then you can do the contrast, and that just makes it a little more clear. Structure does the same. It makes it a little clearer, and I don't really do much of that either. And I personally like a little more of a blue tone to my photos. So on the warmth factor, if you go to the left, it makes your photos more blue. And then if you go to the right, it makes them a yellower, warmer color. So I just go like just a few points over. You can up the saturation if you would like. See, like when you go all the way to the side, it gets really bright and not that great. Like it made my orange, because my hand looked like an Oompa Loompa. So I would just pump it up like about 15 or 16. And then I personally like to add like a fade on mine, just to give it like a grungier type of feel. And that is like, I don't really ever do any of the other ones. Like if I have too much of a shadow, like, and I want to really make a big contrast on my shadow and have that dark shadow, I could do that. But I usually don't mess around too much with the shadows. And you can always pump up the sharpen a little bit, and it just makes the photos a little more crisper. So this is a really easy, free way to edit your photos. And then you can just go ahead and post. So Instagram has like a really great way to do that. But personally, I have to be extra, and I use another app. So I actually have like a whole folder for photography, and I think this just keeps you really organized. So these are some of my favorite ones to use. Most of these you do have to pay for. But I honestly use so many, like especially, so there's one that's not even in there because it's down on the bottom on the right called Color Story, and I use it so much that it's down there for me. But these are some really great ones. Like I'm not really going to talk much about like words or how you would use wording on your photos. I'm just teaching you like how to brighten up your photos now. But Word Swag is really great. I think that it might be free. I'm not quite sure. If it isn't, it's totally worth it. Rana is a really great one. Word Swag, if you're like not very used to doing design and don't really have an eye for it, then Word Swag is really great. I'll show you guys here. So it has backgrounds for you, but then you can also put your own photo. So they have backgrounds. You could just choose a background and put a quote on it. So you could be really consistent on your Instagram if you like marble, and all of your all of them can be. So my phone tends to go a little slower when it's hooked up to your quote. So you can choose, like, I would always suggest sticking to like one font, one style, and choosing that and like sticking to one color. And on here, like, you can always eyedrop and like I would suggest like picking your own color. Like I usually use like a pinkish color, kind of about that color, similar, but I would stick to one color, one style, one kind of background, and one font if you're wanting your Instagram to be very cohesive, or if it's just like for your own page and stuff, to get your personal brand out there. So Word Swag is really great. And then Rana has like a lot of stickers, like you can do extra stuff on that. Rana Collage. And then again, some people ask me what I use for videos. I'm not really going into that. I use Boomerang and Pick, Play, Post most of the time. InShot if I need it to be square. And then Rana Collage is really great. Let me go to my last project. Yeah, here we go. So I'm able to like actually put other photos inside of photos with this one. And you can actually like insert a video into this other one as well. So that's really, really cool. And then one of my favorite ones is Spark Post recently. Like if you're getting into like, and you want to add actual text to your photos, like Spark Post is really great. I have, again, like since I'm a designer, I still do freelance stuff. So I have an Adobe membership and it comes free with that. But I believe that you can still use Spark Post without the membership. But there might be like a little watermark on the bottom if that doesn't bother you. But it keeps very cohesive style, and you can use like the same template. They have really awesome templates that you could just go off of. So like for my posts, like there's a taco one that I sent to Kate one time. But like I use like the same font every single time and the same pink tones just to keep everything really cohesive. So let's see here. I'll go in here. So I use this palette on the bottom. If you want to know what I personally use, like I use this palette that's like the pink to the navy color for everything. For the fonts, I use the shape right here with highlighted in the green. And I use that first color there with the pink and the white. And then for my other font up here, so that's Beboss New. And then this font is True. So that's the fonts that I personally use because I wanted like a more, I do a lot of my photos more of like kind of like pastel grunge type style, but then I want my fonts to be like more inviting and friendly. So that's why I use those ones. So when you edit your photos on that Instagram, it can take like 45 seconds. Like once you have your exact style, how you want to do it, you can do it on ViscoCam, on IG. I personally really like Color Story, and I can edit my photo in like 10 seconds now because you can actually save your last style. So I took some pictures of like a smoothie bowl the other day. Let's see here. I just opened it. And so on Color Story, I think it costs, I'm not quite sure the price. It's under $10, but it's a really, really great app. And it's when you see like those Instagrams that you really love that are like bright and colorful, like they're usually using a Color Story. So if you come in, I have mine saved here. So I actually have like IG Filter 2, like certain shoots that I did, so I could have the same look on every single one. And then I've just mostly been using like this filter. And so like in 2 seconds, my filter is already on there. It's already brightened it up. And you can see what it looks like in the past if you just hold your finger down. So that's what it looked like before. And then I put my predetermined filter that I went in and created, and it looks like this. In order to create, I'm going to start over so I can show you guys how to create one of these. And I like to put when I do like photo shoots and stuff, I like to create a favorite. So I just heart them and put them in my favorites folder so I can easily find them when I go into the app. So like this photo is kind of dark, so I'll show you guys how to do this one. And as you can see, like I don't take the greatest photos, but with ColorStore, it really makes it seem like I can take better photos. So first off, I would go into Tools and Crop and Frame. And I usually do the square crop because I'm putting them on Instagram. So I just line that up there. And as you can see, it's a pretty dark photo. So I'm going to hit the home button, go back to Tools and Adjust. And this is like Photoshop right here. So it's really awesome that they have this on your phone. So if you go to Curves, I actually put 2 dots always, and then I just kind of mess with them to see. And as you can see, it's like already looking better. So I just move them a little bit. Again, it doesn't take like huge, like, you know, moving your finger crazy, because then it'll get, like, I'll show you, it gets really crazy. It gets like that. So you just want to like slightly move them and adjust them. So if you do like a whole shoot on like a white desk or on some white cardboard or something, you'll be able to save this full out. So I go through this whole thing. So I do curves, I do clarity, and I just up it a few. Contrast, I always up it a few. Brightness, up it a few. Saturation, and I just honestly like move it up a few points. That's it. Vibrance. And then for my temp, I like my photos more cool toned, but if you wanted to make it more warm, if that's more your style, or I always add like a little more bluer tone to mine. And I don't usually do tint because it actually changes the color, either like green or purple. But if you want like all purple or green photos, I guess you could do that. I'll show you what it looks like. So it like actually makes them purple or green. But I usually don't mess with that one. If I'm having like problems like with one photo, I might go in and use some of these things, but honestly, I just go all the way over to exposure and pump it up a little bit and sharpen so my photo is a little more crisp. Oops, no vignette. I don't think it sharpened. There we go. So if I just press down on this photo again, it shows me what it looked like before, which it wasn't cropped and it was kind of dark. So it's obviously going to look different, but it's a lot brighter now. And I can come over. Most of the time, like I call this good because then I can go into Instagram and put like that more of like grungy like type fog on it, and that's totally fine. But there's so many in here that you can use. I found like 3 that I really like because I like to have like a pinkier color on mine, but for the white photos, I like them to be really white, and Disco Ball is like the best one. It's under Good Vibes. This really washes it out, so I obviously don't go full out on it, so maybe like 30% or so. And that just like brightens it up a ton, and it's 2 seconds, that's it. And then you can keep adding on filters on this, so you could do multiple. So if you want it brighter, but then you also like want a pinker tone to it, I go to blush. So blush all has that like rose gold type color to it, and I usually use rose on my photos just so it has that pink color. I kind of like this one just being really white though, so I'm going to leave it as is. And then this also has some really cool things, the effects section. So if you have like outdoor photos, there's light leaks and flares and all that kind of stuff. But I really like the color fog, and I love using the hot pink. This looks kind of crazy, and it's probably not how you usually see my photos, but if you flip it, you can flip it so it's on the bottom. And then again, I just give it like a slight, I barely put the color on. So it just gives it that slight pink color. That way the whole photo isn't that rose color, because I didn't like it like that. But if you do this with like just a few of your photos, like I usually take the same types of photos. Like I take a photo using my kitchen counter. So it's like in that lighting, and then I take it on my desk, and then, you know, if there's like selfies indoors and outdoor type things. So I really only have like 4 types of photos. So I can create templates of this style and have 4 different ones, and that's all I need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click done, save and finish. And then this is where you want to save editing steps on the green here. So this is all the stuff that I did. Lots of stuff, right? I don't have to go in and do that for every single photo every single time I do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save, and then I can put white background. So anytime like I have a picture on my desk, I can just go in and do that. So I'm gonna start over. Oops. Go in my favorites, and there was like, I think I chose that one. So we'll choose a different one from that same day. I think that's the same one. Go up to this one. So as you can see, it was like really dark again. So I'm just gonna go and do saved, my saved, scroll on over, white background, click OK. And then again, I have to crop this one. So I'm just gonna go to Tools, Crop and Frame, Square Crop, crop it, done. Oops. Save, and like I'm done. Like that took me like 5 seconds to edit that photo because I already had the template set up. So it depends on like what type of photos you have. So I did, like I have some that are outside. So this one's outside. This was like my profile picture a while back. Not recognize it. So there was like people in my picture because we were like taking a busy picture outside. So obviously like I need to crop this first off. And then I can come into my save to see if I have like a good one that will work for it, because I do have some that have been outside. But this one was like the Xmas market was outside during the evening. So I might just try like my IG filter. So I think that looks fine. So I already had this saved. It was already like an IG filter that I had. It already has like that pink tint to it, you know, making it clear, and it just made my scarf look extra pink too. So like here's the, I'll show you guys. So that's the before, and then this is after. And these are all saved. So I can go through here and just edit photos in like 5 seconds. Again, Color Story is really great. There's like new filters that they come out with. So like if you can see here, if you see the photo of me earlier, well, you can kind of see what I've done today. So like the no drought was really dark, and I just brightened it up. That was already a saved filter. The picture of me at Navy Pier was like really dark, and I just really lightened it up. And I did this all through Color Story. Same with this guy. So you guys saw this in the group. I actually took an okay photo this time. It was during the day, so it had a little bit, there is some shadow on it, which happens. If you really don't want that, you have to like really get a light on top of it in order to work. But I honestly can just go to like my saves now, because this is on my desk just like that iPad was, and I can do white background, and I just click that button and it's edited. So it takes 5 seconds. Like once you set up that process, it's done. So this was before and that's after, and it took me 5 seconds to do because I had already set up that process. So think about where you take your pictures. So again, like I said, I take some in my kitchen, I take some out here on the white desk, and then I have like more indoor selfies where the light isn't that great, and then like outdoor where the sun might be really bright. So I just create, you know, those templates for that on Color Story. That way I can just boom, go. I used to use ViscoCam a lot, but you had to go in like every single time. You had like a process that you did it. Like this, like I would always go to Clarity, always go to that. And then I found out that you can actually save your steps, which is amazing on Color Story. So I definitely would recommend this for sure. And then again, like I said, if you want, you can go in here and do it manually in Instagram. Like if you don't want to pay for it, that's totally fine too. Like totally personal use. Like if I know there's a lot of you on here that are like small business owners, so I would definitely invest like I think it's $8 or so for Color Story and to upgrade some of the things in there. But yeah, so again, if you want to take, I'll open this up. So this, if you want to take a screenshot of this, this is the apps that I mostly use. Again, Word Swag is for words and quotes and stuff that you want to put on there. Rana is the same. I didn't really open up Rana, but there's like lots of stickers and you can like get really fun with it. I tend not to use that all the time because there's like no set template in there. So like it can take me a lot of time. Like I honestly try not to spend more than like 30 seconds editing a photo most of the time. Rana Collage is really great if you want to like incorporate photos on top of photos. Layout is from like Instagram and you can just do collages of photos. InShot is where you can make a photo square essentially. Sorry, my phone turned off. But I'll open this for you guys. So there's like a video, photo, or collage. And so you can actually like put, so I'll do this one that I just edited. So of course it's already square and background. You can just make a white background so it has that extra white around it if you want to be really cohesive with that type of stuff. I always use this pink color. It's a lot with the pink scarf in this photo, but it just keeps, I keep that pink color throughout my whole Instagram and my like page and all that kind of stuff. And I really like this one because it's my style, but there are some like free, oh, not that party one, but there's some really cute stickers. Like I really like these, the illustrated ones. It doesn't go with this photo, guys, but I'm just showing you. But I like these because they're definitely my style. So, oops. But yeah, like this has free stickers. So if you don't want to pay InShot, it's completely free. Rana has like paid stickers and stuff like that. That's about it for my tutorial. I'm going to stop recording. So thank you for watching the recording. If you're on live, feel free to stay on live and we can chat and you can ask questions and stuff. So thank you for watching.